Now that you have effectively annotated for Power Struggles, today's annotation focus, and last week's dystopian structures and characteristics, the time has come to really start that dialogue, that discourse among you and your group members about your book. And since we're not in person, we've decided to give you that opportunity, even so, obviously just in a different way. So today's group task, and notice it's number 1, which means more will be coming in the weeks to come. This is going to give you a chance to carry on that dialogue, but in writing. So our focus is really going to be constructing open-ended questions, okay? So as we have discussed in class, a closed question is one that has a very simple answer, a single word answer, or only one correct answer. Obviously, those are the ones we want to avoid. So going back to examination day, what is the main character's name? Well, that'd be Dickie. There's only one right answer. And even though it's not answered with a yes or a no, it's just too simple. We want to go beyond that. And that's where open-ended questions come into play. They require more depth, a lengthier response. They don't warrant a single answer or a single right answer. If anything else, they're very text-based. They require people to go back to the text and analyze it, let alone we all could come up with a very different answer and technically could all still be right. So today, for this task, I'm going to ask that you pay close attention to our expectations here. First off, only one person in your group should access this document and make a copy of it. So last week we talked about, are you emailing each other? Are you texting each other? How are you going to communicate with your group? It might just be that one person takes the lead, makes a copy, shoots it out to everybody. Just make sure you give everybody editing access. You'll want to make sure that one person in each group is responsible for creating their own new and different open-ended question about a specific passage, just as each person is also responsible for answering another person's question. So right off the bat, here are some sentence starters. So if you're not sure how to begin one of your open-ended questions, it might start with, in what way does? What can you infer from? What, in your opinion, does the text suggest? So going back to examination day, it might be, in what way does the dad, Mr. Jordan, show that he is nervous about the text? Well, there are many possibilities. Going back to the text, I know there are places where seems very angry. He's very cold. He doesn't look at Dickie, for example, when Dickie's about to leave him to take the test. Another question possibility, what, in your opinion, does the test suggest? Well, what does the text suggest about early on about Dickie being as smart as he is? Well, I know we discussed in class there are places where he, it shows very great examples of curiosity or his inability to be quickly and easily entertained. No, he wants to know. He has a thirst for knowledge. So with that said, I'm giving you an example here. In fact, Mrs. Fiorini and I worked on this together. My question was, what can you infer about the, and I gave a passage here, insignialess tunic referenced in examination day, paragraph 31. Well, right off the bat, notice how I quoted the text and I even gave the paragraph number. So for you in your book, you'll want to ask a question and I would acknowledge not only a passage, but a page number. You'll notice that Mrs. Fiorini then went on to answer that question with, I can infer that, and she gave her inference. She also went on to explain that inference. It was not a very simple answer. And yes, she put her name in parentheses. Mrs. Fiorini then would not be finished. Yes, she did answer my question, but she would then need to go on and ask her own. Okay? So with that said, going back to our big screen here, you are required to generate open-ended questions about your reading to trigger discussion. Note, I've given you the same instructions that I went over with you in this video. And remember that this is due no later than Wednesday, November 18th at noon. I want to be able to talk about this and reference this discussion when we meet in our Google Meet on either Thursday or Friday. Happy reading, happy constructing of open-ended questions. You guys have a great day.